Alright. That is everything set up. So, today, the plan is to start making some heavy modular frames. And I have written a to-do list. So step 1 is to get limestone and concrete into the factory. Step 2 is to make sure my ingot production is sufficient. Step 3 is to do all the blueprint placing and cart driving and everything. And it might be tractor driving for this one. Probably will be tractor driving for this one. Although that would also require us setting up some sort of fuel setup. So hopefully cars will be enough. But then once we have that, we'll have heavy modular frames. And once we have heavy modular frames, then we can use those to get a higher tier of blueprint designer, which will be very exciting. A little bit of extra space will be very helpful. So let's, without further ado, let's scan for some limestone. We have some nodes, of course, being used over that away. And the scan doesn't seem to give much else, which I believe is wrong. I believe there is more limestone around here that I'm not using. So let's try and find it. Let's head off in a random direction and do a scan there. So once I get computers, I can set up radar towers, which will be extremely convenient. So what if I stand here and do the scan? Also looking visually. Alright, there's a limestone patch. Is it pure, though? Is going to be the question. We do need a fair amount of concrete. Like, we need, like, bare minimum, like, 60 to 70-ish. And really, I'd like 100 concrete. Which, you know, even with wet concrete alt recipe is going to be a fair amount. But this is pure. No, I didn't mean to be doing that. Stop it. Alright, so now we can plop down a miner. And I guess scan to see if there's more limestone around here. There's an impure up there and a pure down there. Okay. That's not so bad. And we're going to have to bring trains out here as well. So let's build, because I don't know how I'm going to find this spot super easily. Let's just build a wall up. So that will be visible from far away, hopefully. Maybe make it even taller. So we can see that and know that this is where we need to be going to get our limestone. So now we head back to the base and start building out the trains. Which is also going to involve setting up the truck stop for the limestone. Two pure nodes should be plenty, especially with wet concrete alt. Might be fine even without wet concrete alt. In fact, yeah, it probably would be. But, you know, you can never have too much concrete. Although the water supply might be a bit of a nuisance. But even that is, like, probably not a problem. Alright, what was I doing? Right, I need to set up the train. So let's head on over this way. And this is meant to be a road. So you can go out like that. And we can use the floor tile blueprint. That lines up apparently. We get that in there. Then we put a truck stop on it. Alright, so this will be how all of the concrete gets into the city. Just power that on. Nice and easy. Well, this will be limestone anyway. We're going to have to set up a limestone to concrete blueprint, which shouldn't be much of a problem. Alright, now we have to put the roads around it. And then probably make that road a little wider. And then we place down this floor tile like there. And now we set up the train station. Like so. Hopefully that'll be enough space for it to turn around. I don't know. Might not be. Let's give it some more space. Alright, it definitely needs to go wider out then. Give it a couple more of these. And have it go like that. Alright, now we need to set out this, which is where the actual train station itself goes. And we're going to run ourselves out of concrete doing this. Oh boy, I can't wait until I have more concrete. Alright, so let's head back to the old base and grab some concrete. Right, down here we go. And this is the concrete one. You can see the concrete coming in from the belts. Let's grab a bunch of stacks. And find plates and grab a bunch of stacks of those as well. We're going to need them for building out the train networks anyway. And now we head back up. And then we can finish off this train station. And we're going to have to set up the switcheroo from the train station into the truck station. Alright. So then we put down freight platforms 1, 2, 3, which should be enough for a long while. Then we grab the power from there, and we power on the train station. And we check, still fine-ish on power. Definitely not comfy about it, but this is limestone supplier. so then we have all of this. Hello. We are currently setting up limestone. We're making some factories which need limestone, which means that we are setting up a supply of limestone for that. Alright, so let's make these theoretically capable of Mark IV. We're not going to use this much in the near future. It's nice to just have it pre-set up like that, so that we don't run out of capacity and have to come back and fix it at any point. Alright, so that is that. Then we go here. And we have to do the same thing, but in reverse. Alright, that's one set up. Julie Martin, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright, then we set this up. And put those in. Alright. So now we just have to do the stuff underground. Pretty good. Just started like 15 minutes ago, but no complaints so far. Alright, so we have to go down. Actually, I think we need to bring a wall down. Because I need to build out a foundation down there. Not really where I want it, but it's close enough. Alright, so now we take these down. I wonder if I can get this or something vaguely useful like it into a blueprint. That would be handy. I guess I only really have to do this like a couple of times, but still it would be nice. Alright. So let's get over here. And if I remember correctly, we used industrial storage containers to balance these. So we have this space in here. One storage container, two storage containers, three storage containers. We do need to have the buffer for trains. Alright, so then that comes down there. And each of the first two carts is split between the two storage containers. And then the last cart goes into the middle. Like that. And how high up can this go? go like up there. And then down. I'll call that good enough. Alright, so we have that. And then we have these 3 storage containers. And the inner 2 needs to be split. Yeah, so the center storage container needs to be split. The outer storage containers need to be merged. So these go all into these. And then the center storage container is split evenly between the 2 sides. And now we have 4 belts, each of which is guaranteed to be max capacity. And they can head over into the truck stop. So in you go, in you go. In you go. And almost done. Sorry, I'm not interested in talking about that sort of stuff on stream. Alright, so we just need to get encased industrial beams through the dimensional storage, and boom. Alright. Train station complete. Train to truck complete. We now have that truck stop potentially fully loaded. And now we just need to bring the trains out. Nah, it's no problem, you know. As long as you don't push it or anything, that's fine. Alright, so I see my beacon over there. So now we start heading on over. And this is going to be a loop, probably. I don't know how much limestone really I need. I don't think these 2 nodes will be enough for all of the limestone forever. But they might last me a decent while. Not a huge amount of things require concrete at all. Alright, just about there. And head a little further up. And then we build out a platform. And now we put a train station on this platform. And I think the train station points this way. So let's bring the railway down. Alright. Railway across. Nice if I could prevent this from getting curved at any point, just for the sake of looking better. Keep it nice and neat exactly on the center. Drag the railway across. And I messed it up, I think. Or maybe not. Yep, it's definitely curving now. Well, such is life. Railways are going to curve. Alright. So we take that little section off and pop that directly in. And now we have to hook the other side up. So let's go like that. Let's see if we can get this straight by doing that. And then having that snap into it. Curves too sharply. Oh well. So that should be good. And we have that. And then that doesn't curve too sharply. That curves just sharply enough, but it's also not straight. So the entire thing was pointless. Cool. Whatever. Alright, now we drag our foundations over. And at some point I'm going to want to expand this loop to incorporate more limestone deposits. For now, we're just going to have it like this. Alright, almost there. Alright, now we just need to actually put in the freight platforms here, which I'll have on that side. And then we loop this around that way and bring that back eventually. But for now, we need to drop our ladder down and actually get the limestone. Alright, so let's set up probably gonna split it all three ways. And that is off center, so make it on center. Now it's not even in front of the hole. Let's have that there. Alright, now they're all lined up. I think this is only going to need Mark III lifts because it's going to be split so much. And also, I think it's only like 240 to begin with anyway. Alright, so we have that all set up. Ladder the rest of the way down. And I may have just placed a random ladder somewhere. I feel like that didn't work, but... Up we go. Or down we go, specifically. Alright, so we have that. This is a minor Mark II on a pure node, which means it's making 240 total. so let's do that, that, and that. And then bring these the rest of the way down. Then we hook those all up to all of those. Then we hook that up to there. And then there was another limestone deposit this way-ish, right? I'm not crazy, I remember that. Yes, I see it, actually, just as I was scanning. Alright, is this, I believe, also pure? Yes. I don't know why I keep hitting that button instead of the one I mean to. Put that down. Start belting it over. Bring the power line as well. And there is conveniently just like a random power line here. So we'll make that attachment real quick. You go up over this coal belt, which I'm sure is very important for something. Don't know if that's for power or for steel, but whatever it is, don't want to mess with it. Continue bringing this over. And we're out of steel beams. That's awkward. Well, in the meantime, I guess I will bring this power line over. And then hopefully get enough steel beams to bring this belt the rest of the way. I guess I can replace it with Mark IV belts, which is weird and inefficient, but not a problem. Alright, see you soon. Alright, so then that small section needs to be Mark IV, because this is 480 going into it. But all the rest of these are going to be like somewhere in the 150 range. I don't know exactly, but somewhere along there. Alright, well, hope you get your internet working. Meanwhile, I'm going to finish up this limestone. We need steel beams for the remaining track. And we only have 63? It's probably not going to be enough. But it might be close. Oh, okay, don't fall off. Alright. You come on over. And you come on over. Right, fortunately, it is purely a dimensional storage problem for the steel beams. We have more than enough, it's just a question of getting them. Okay, snap mode exists. Don't really know. I assume that would be useful for keeping it straight once it's already straight. Alright. Almost there. Just hook that up. And boom, done. So now, we just put in a train, a couple of cars, and I've called it's been automatically called Kiev, which is not deliberate. Alright, so we set these to unload. And then we're going to have to run all the way back over here to fix this being named wrong. So let's do that real quick. Probably might be faster to just take the train. I don't know. I don't see the train. Yeah, it's coming. Probably quicker to run then. Alright. Call this limestone source 480. Alright, now if we hurry again, we might be able to make it back before the train does, and if not, we'll catch a ride on it. And we should see some limestone showing up over there. Let's get over here and see that. Hopefully the train is working properly. Looks like it is coming. It looks like it does have cargo. Alright. Train is arriving. And I mean, like, even this, like this train's setup is way cheaper than running Mark IV belts all this way. I'm fairly certain that's true. Alright, and you stop, and you deliver the limestone. And any minute now, we will have limestone running across these belts. Obviously, the capacity here is insane. Like, this is almost 3,000 capacity for input, which is ludicrous. And the truck stops are like 2,000. So we're not going to be using anywhere near that, but we're going to be using some of it. And the nice thing about using Mark IV belts is that the delay between it leaving and showing up is quite small. So it runs through that whole understation pretty quickly. And then here it is in the truck stops, ready to be carried to a concrete plant. So now we need to actually make a wet concrete factory, which Honestly, I think if I just load up pure ingots and just like change the recipes from iron to wet concrete, and of course probably fiddle with some other things. Alright. So how much limestone do we have? We have 480. So theoretically, like, we could just do this. Wet concrete. We need 200 water. We need 200 water a minute. And 240 limestone a minute is fine. We can just bring that in via tractor. 200 water a minute is a lot of water. It's a lot of water. Let's see how much a packager can handle. A packager can handle up to 60. Okay, well, let's think. Room for another packager. So we can make this belt go downstairs and get another packager in, maybe another 2, but probably not another 3. So like what we need to do is take that out. We switch to our main hotbar, obviously. We put a splitter in. We take that out. Put that into the splitter. Probably doesn't need to be more than Mark II. Then we can put a floor hole in there, I guess. And feed that. So we make that 100. That's 60 a minute. I think I'm probably... I guess I may as well run as much as I can, which would be 120 water. So what if we make this 48 a minute? That would be 60 water, 72 limestone. We could do 2 of those. And be making 96 concrete a minute per thing. And fit in our second unpackager down here. Just in this space here, which we have, because we're only using 2 refineries instead of 3. So let's get that in there. This doesn't need to be Mark II. Also definitely doesn't need to be up there. So this is set to unpackaged water. Oh, right. Actually, that's huge. So we can do this. Right, this was one of the blueprints that I had messed up previously. So single unpackaged water can do 120. So actually, we are free to run this at 100%. And even underclock the water unpackagers. And then we just need to find something to do with the empty canisters. So that can go down there. And the packages can... Where's going to be a good clean space? Probably back here as well. Like just right by where they go in. Apparently that's too tight. What if we do that? We can go up there. We do need this to be Mark II. Alright. So now we can move that up. Into that floor hole. And we'll probably have to maneuver some things up there to make room for it. But yeah, we need to fix that to set it to unpackage water at 100 per minute. Those need to be Mark II belts to keep up. Actually, we can totally fit in a merger here, can't we? Whereas back there is actually quite awkward. So let's say we have a floor hole like here. And the conveyor lift like there. And that merger. No, I mean that's never gonna be anything. Move it further up like that. What if we move this floor hole out to the side like so? No. Right, it's actually quite awkward then. Let's try just fitting it in here then. So we have that. We have our merger. Merger there work? No. If we have it like that, then that runs nice and straight. And a merger like here. And then we would need to fit this belt into that merger. Frankly, seems kind of hard. There's really just not enough space, like at all, anywhere here. Why is that the way it is? What if I just do that? Does that snap in? Is it a better way of... I guess we could do that. And then try... I have to get out. And this is all happening conveniently, immediately in front of the doors. And when I say conveniently, I mean inconveniently, of course. Alright. Let's hope that that works. Now we need to break down a wall to put in a new door. And get in through here. Alright, now let's break down another wall to put down another new door. And up we go. And if this works, it'll be great. Might not work. And the other thing that we forgot to do with this when we made it was actually power all of the machines up. So let's make sure to do that real quick. And also, we're going to have 200 empty canisters coming out total. So after the merger, it needs to be a Mark III belt. And also needs to be a Mark III belt going in. Up to this splitter, where it can be Mark II. Alright, so this is 240 limestone, 200 water, to 160 concrete. Concrete. $240 limestone, 200 water, to 160 concrete, and 200 canisters. It's a bit fast. So it's probably going to be a very long time before we need to place down a second one of these, hopefully. And I do not know if our water supply can handle this running at full capacity. Probably will. Probably will, but it'll probably be close. Which is fine. Alright, so then this needs to go out this way. And this needs to come up this way. Something like that. And then this can be the section we use. We need to expand this road out as well. Alright, now we go to this, get the floor tile in. And line it up. Is that lined up? Nope, wrong. Dismantle that. And line it up there, is that right? Yes, that's correct. Now we get all of these smaller things in. And now we put in the rest of the floor tiles. And try to get them all lined up properly, which is definitely the hard part. It'd be nice to have the hover pack, but I don't. Probably not going to get it for a while either. Alright, so I think this is the point where it lines up. Yes. Alright, so now we need... Now we need to build some truck stops. So we need... So that brings in the limestone and water. That outputs the concrete. And we need to power these on now. Let's hop over, grab some power. Bring it to the truck stops. So that brings in limestone and packaged water. This brings out concrete and empty canisters. And we do have room for a third truck stop if we really need mass quantities of concrete, but I'm not expecting to. So, now we place this down, and we need to wait for just a few seconds until we get the concrete for it. And actually, that reminds me, I have... I can upgrade these. Same fluctuators. No, not there. So I could take both of these and go down to one Mercer sphere. I actually can't take both of these at this exact moment. Let's take this upgrade so that they're up to 1 a second.
Dimensional
And
upload
let's take
speed
that upgrade
increased.
because it's basically
All of the
free.
kinetic and thermal energy released during matter conversion has now been repurposed to aid with dimensional shifting, allowing several parts to pass through for free.
The window is beautiful. Have you tried making a door?
I assure you that would
Alright,
be a
place
most
the blueprint
unhealthy
in.
action for the pioneer to take. Potential for harnessing alien energy completed. Fixit has identified 2 development tracks requiring additional research to
Alright, so
integrate
this left one
Somerset
is for
safely and
concrete,
efficiently
the right
into
one
Fixit
is
technology.
for
The
packaged
loop organ contains
water.
structure, contains instruments to compose symphonies of root and rot and recycling. Shrines to evolution and
And
revolution.
I believe these might both need to be marked.
It seems we truly are
Actually,
building understanding.
I may need to upgrade the limestone belts. Probably do. Alright, so yeah, I'm pretty sure these both need to be Mark III belts, so let's just get that right. And then this goes in there. And I need to get into this. And is this a fast enough lift? Actually, yes. Apparently. But how much output is this? Okay, apparently all the belts in here are Mark III pretty much. Which is probably good. Now we just take a power pole, run it into there, get all of these turned on. Okay, now this does need to be upgraded. Alright, so that is enough on that side, and then on the back side looks like it is also enough. Cool. So now we just need to, first of all, take this random man that I plopped in down. We need to drive some factory cars. So we need to drive one from concrete over there, one from water over there. Also, can we get some... I need to start labeling these things visibly. Are there like giant signs that I can put down to make it clear what everything is? That would be nice. So let's do some shopping. We have 42 printable coupons. Should be more than enough. We head over to the shop. And let's see here. Management. Let's buy wall outlets. Just so that we have them. Let's buy the billboards. And probably that'll be enough. So we should be able to make our factory a lot easier to tell what's going on just by putting up billboards on everything. Alright. So let's get back up there. So I think all of the truck stations which output something should have a billboard by them. Let's see, how large are... I need crystal oscillators for those. Have I even unlocked crystal oscillators officially? Yes. But I don't have them automated at all. And they're kind of expensive, but I can at least manual craft some of them so that I can at least get some signs on. Alright, let's do some manual crafting. And then small billboards only require one each. Alright, so that's not that bad. Let's craft a couple more of these and start getting our signs in. Maybe the 8 will be enough for now. So let's put one here and set the icon to iron ore. And set the layout to just be a giant picture of iron ore. And then here this takes in iron ore on that side and outputs reinforced plates on this side. So let's get billboards in for the things that I actually end up using, more than like the random ones, which are mostly at the moment just for dimensional storage. So this is copper. Copper ore. Layout there. Let's copy those settings so you don't have to set it up manually every time. This is water. Copy settings, or no, that's wrong. I was supposed to paste settings. Package water, layout large. And then this is purely an input station, I believe. But it's an input station that I regularly use, maybe. Where actually is the canister storage? So one of these... Alright, so this side produces canisters. This side brings in canisters. So let's put in a billboard here. And set this to empty canisters. I'm going to have, like, once I actually have more of the things, I'm going to have to put these on multiple sides. This one, at least, I'm going to put on multiple sides. Copy those settings. Get around to this side. Paste those settings. Maybe, like, make it... You need background. Maybe if I make it green? I don't understand how that works. I want to make the background different so that I know that this side... Alright, let's... Okay, we can do that. And call it canister return. So if you want to return your canisters, put them in here, and out they go. Hello, welcome back. Alright, so then we have this, which is just iron and copper inputs, so we don't need to worry about that. So which of these are ones that I actually use? This is just automated miners. This is ingots. so we actually don't need to change the icon, we just need to change the layout. This is my source of iron ingots, and it's this way. Does this one also store iron ingots? No. This one does some input function. Alright, then we head back here. This is making SAM fluctuators. There's not going to be any output for that. No, I don't really use Discord for this. So then this, we paste the settings, but we change the icon to reanimated SAM. And I think that is everything. I have a blue sky under the same username. I think it's linked in the description or something. I don't know. Alright, what was I doing? Is this... This is the thing, right? Yes. So I was midway through setting this up. And I need to get... I need to bring in limestone and water. So limestone is this one over here. Oh, this isn't sand. This is... That's limestone. This is why we label things so we don't get confused. This one over here is Sam. Put that in. Paste that. Make that Sam. Now, that's unfortunate. Like, Blue Sky and Twitch are pretty much the only socials that I use, so can't win them all. Alright, so now we have that. We need to bring in water canisters. Water canisters into this one, and limestone into that one. So let's bring in the water canisters. And I need to craft up some factory carts. First, I'm going to need 4 of them for this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I actually don't need 4, but I'll use it eventually, so it's not a big deal. And this is the water canisters, I believe. Just to check, because I've forgotten already. So it goes here, it goes into this one, which goes up here, which goes into the second slot, which is water canisters, yes. Alright, so we set these to unload, both of them. Then we hit E to enter the cart. Look at all these paths that I have, that's fun. So let's start recording. Unload from there. Drive along this way. And make a turn here. And then in here, load up water canisters. Ooh, that might be a bit of a problem there. We'll have to see if those factory cars can manage getting around each other. Alright, so then we go back up this way. Back around this way. Through this. And we curve. And get back into the start. Now we need to remove any of these nodes, which I really wish there was a setting to not automatically do that, like to make it so that they only stop if you explicitly hit F while recording. That should be an option. But other than that, I think the path works properly. And I didn't spin out any. So let's make it back here. Save that as water for concrete. Save that. Enable autopilots, hide path nodes, and get you going, I guess. It should figure itself out. Yep, there we go. It's doing whatever it is factory cars do. And then this is the concrete, which is just over there, pretty close. We get in there, we start recording. We unload there. Then we come along here onto the road. Around over this way. And accidentally trigger a different thing. And in through there. And around, being careful not to fall off the edge at any point. And then we just make it back. And loop into the truck stop. Alright, path recording complete. Now we need to make sure we don't trigger any other loading zones like this one. Goodbye. Okay, here it stops at both. So we take that one out. And that should be all for that. And then we can bring in the limestone then we can save it, and that'll be good. Save this as limestone for concrete. Save that. Enable autopilot, hide path nodes. And send you off about your business. And we're almost 100% guaranteed to need more carts for those because they're both pretty high capacity. But we'll worry about that later. For now, looks like the water did start showing up. I can see a canister in there. So let's get some conveyor lifts up from this side, which is the output side. And feed that in there. You come down to there, and then up there. And now we need to drive the canister return, and then we'll be done with that. So this goes into here, which is this one. So let's get you in. And enter the factory cart. Start recording. It's done that. Start recording, load her up. And then we just have to drive over to the canister return. Don't get any accidents along the way. I don't know how that spot is going to work. We might need to path around that, so I'm just going to be careful and do it. Alright, and then now we just get back onto the road and drive back. And that will be concrete all set up. And just about there, we curve in and do a quick check. I don't think we hit any unintentional truck stops, but just to make sure, hit that one, didn't hit that one. Yep, we're good to go. Alright, now get over here. We save the path as concrete canister return. Enable autopilot, hide path nodes, and get you going. Please move. You seem to be causing a traffic jam. Alright. Got you going, it looks like. And do we have concrete now? We have 100 canisters returned and 128 concrete. There you go. Alright. Then the next step is going to be quantities. So that's 76 concrete and apparently 49 water. Yeah, that's not that much. Probably put 3 each on those. Let's get another couple of factory carts. And probably don't need to do too much to get these to work like they should. Open record menu, load path, limestone for concrete, enable autopilot, have fun. Same thing for you. Load path, limestone for concrete, enable autopilot. There you go. And we'll set up another 2 for water. Load path, water for concrete, path loaded, Autopilot enabled. Have fun. And these should, like, just teleport to their designated path when they give up. Pilot enable. And we're also going to need... I don't know why I keep taking this equipment workshop down. I clearly keep needing it. We're also going to need some for the concrete canister return. So let's go. Why are you still sitting here? Probably just the most recent one. Alright. Enable autopilot. Put you on that. And enable autopilot. Load you up to there. And that should be at least close to enough to keeping up. We'll have to see, but it should work. Right, yep, they teleport off. And that's concrete all set up. What is going on here? So you are canister return. Did it like spin out or something? Not entirely sure what happened there. Some sort of traffic jam. Alright, now we have concrete all set up and good to go. We have concrete, and how much concrete production is this? Incoming 274, I don't believe that. 117 seems more believable. And yeah, it does look like they are short on water. But yeah, that's already down to 252. So we're going to have to set up fuel at some point in order to get tractors in and get all of this working properly. Like this, the way we're doing it now with all of these factory carts is not going to scale pretty much past where we have it right now. But regardless, we should be getting more than enough concrete either way. So this is at 42% now. And this one is at 32%. There's probably enough concrete even just at that. Hello, the factory is good. We've just finished setting up a wet concrete facility, so now we are getting a whole bunch of concrete. And with that, we should be just about ready to get heavy modular frames set up, which is very exciting. The one thing which is not going so great is factory carts are not good at transporting the high quantities of things we need for all of this, which means once we get the heavy modular frame factory set up, we're probably going to have to get tractors in, which means setting up a fuel system to get enough like throughput on the transportation. But other than that, going pretty well. Also, I guess another thing is power is starting to get a fair bit dubious, but it should hold out for long enough. once we get heavy modular frames set up, we're going to use them to unlock the tier 2 blueprint machine, and then we're going to use that to set up a whole fuel factory, which should be nice and simple. It says, knowing that it is not nice and simple. It's kind of, at least last time I did fuel factories, it was kind of a pain. Alright. Let's get foundations. So heavy modular frames are going to be in here. And this needs to be a road and not just what it is right now. Yeah. Alright. That is 3 wide. So now we can put down the floor tiles, which should line up like here, maybe? No. Wrong. They line up like here. So get that in. We loop that around. Then we send that off over that way. Send that up that way. This road needs to be longer this way. Yeah. Making things scale well is quite satisfying. Need to go and grab more concrete. All right, let's get some concrete. Yes, satisfactory indeed. All right, which one of these is concrete? You are concrete. Let's grab some of those. Let's grab some plates as well, because if I'm running out of one of them, I'm probably running out of both. And then we head back up. And finish filling this area out. I think that lines up like that. And this lines up like this, and then this lines up there, and then I just put that in, and actually this is a full street here. All right. So now I have all that. Build over the containers with the tier 2 containers. Let's see, actually. No, you cannot. It does stack them. It does stack them quite nicely, but yeah. I mean, it makes sense. They're completely different sizes. Like, I could definitely imagine that causing some problems. Alright. So, for the heavy modular frame factory, we put in a truck stop, and the truck stop unloads iron ingots and concrete. And then we have our blueprints, which I've neatly sorted them out here. So we need to make some modular frames, and it's snapping in a way I don't want it to. Alright, so step 1 is make some modular frames. Step 2 is make the encased beams and steel pipes. Yeah, moving boxes tends to be a problem. I've often been frustrated by that myself. Alright, and then we get the heavy modular frames blueprint itself. Where is its input and output? Put it in like there. Alright, now I have to remember how on earth all of this works. I think first, before I do that, I think I'll set the factory cart lines up first for this. Because, like, just to let them buffer some. Let's get a workshop in. And make a couple of factory carts. Probably going to need at least like 4 of them for this. Alright, let's say this right one here will be iron. And it's iron ingots. Alright, it does that basically every time, which I do not understand. Alright, so then we have to try to remember, with the aid of those signs that I placed earlier, where the iron ingots come from. Are they here? No. If I keep going, is it this one? Yes, it is this one. And I drove that a little bit, unfortunately, but it's fine. So now we drive this back and finish the loop. And don't spin out in the process. Fix that real quick. And I just realized I've gone past where I meant to, so we're gonna have to do all sorts of fixing for this. Alright, path has been recorded. Now we just follow the path, make sure everything works properly. Alright, then we hit that. And then hopefully the path doubling back on itself doesn't cause any problems. It very well might. Let's delete some of these nodes which were involved in the spin out. And some of these. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'm gonna try something like that at some point. Don't want to stop there. Alright, let me save this as iron ingots for HMF. Enable you. And yeah, it'll figure itself out. Now we have to drive this for concrete The concrete one is... I literally just built it. It's right over here. And it's this one? The left one? Okay, so that means I need to make another one of the... I need to make some more oscillators because they're needed for billboards for some reason. The Explorers are speedy? Yeah, I actually think I've literally never once driven an Explorer more than like 10 feet. Like, I think I tried once, decided it was way more inconvenient than just like jetpacking around, and then never drove it again. But they're probably fun for entertainment purposes at least. Alright, select that as concrete. It's upside down. Okay, it's upside down. We're just gonna ignore that. And yeah, I could fix that. Don't really care to. Also, I never removed this. I never hid this node network. So let's see if there is an easier way of doing that. Are you the vehicle in question? Yes, you are. And you seem to be having trouble. What are you doing this for? To what end? Alright, what if I just hide path nodes? Alright. Yeah, you can head off that way, I guess. Alright, we need to actually attach these power poles to the network, like that. Alright, what are you doing? Alright, you are... I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. Alright, this one is going over to concrete. Alright. Start recording. Stop there. Go around the loop. Ah, yeah, okay, that happens every time. Okay. I thought that if you didn't accelerate through the curve, it would work, but apparently that is simply not true. Okay, so then we go through that. We load her up. And we do all sorts of nonsense here. Oh yeah, no, this is terrible. This is not the correct way of driving a path. We've gone through the same tiny alley twice. It's probably fine. Concrete for HMF. Save. And enable autopilot hide path nodes. Off you go. Alright, now we have all that. So we're gonna have to get creative to actually get the HMF out of here, but that's fine. So this one is concrete. This one is iron ingots. So now we need to figure out which one goes into which output. So this takes iron ingots and outputs modular frames. So, ingots are in here. Bring them up. I don't know what tier belt we need. Probably 3. Let's get some foundations there. So we're going to need a splitter. And having them not float in midair would be appreciated. Alright, so that brings the ingots into the modular frames. Then we have this, which probably also requires ingots. Please let me in. Alright, where is it? Where's the door? So this far left one is for ingots. And it needs a ridiculous quantity of them. I wonder if my belt will even be fast enough for this. Do we write this down? That's 360 iron ingots. That's 170 iron ingots. So the answer is no. Max speed belts. A single max speed belt, literally not fast enough. Fortunately, truck stops have 2 max speed belts. So that branches off its 170. And then takes the rest of them over this way. Which, let's have that out that way. Yep, it's very compact, but at the end of the day, it's still a heavy modular frames factory. Like, not much you can do about that. So we need a merger. And we need to bring up another Mark IV belt. And then, is that the only place iron ingots are needed here? Yes. So this one doesn't need iron ingots input, so this can just go... Oh, that's the wrong side of the merger. So that goes there. That's those iron ingots. Check. And then the next input is... What is this? The next input is 46 concrete. And then we have a couple of outputs to worry about. One of which is just being sunk, I think. Alright, so this is the concrete one. Fortunately, don't need nearly as much of that. Unfortunately, it is sort of in an inconvenient spot. We're going to let that go up like that. That's basically not clipping. And that goes there. 2 fulls into a splitter. That's a merger. So this is a full belt this way, and a significant portion of it is going off into that factory. The remains of it are going off this way to meet up with this one to go off into that factory. Probably isn't, strictly speaking, necessary to do it that way, but oh no, this isn't a smart splitter. This is just a regular old splitter. The fact that this only needs 170 ingots means that it'll just naturally backlog. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Alright, so that is that. Then we have to deal with these 2 outputs, and then actually, hang on, we can't have that. Let's put a foundation there. So we can do even more work, because we need to split off some of the concrete. Because some of it's going here, some of it's going the other way. Right, so some of the concrete goes there. Some of the concrete is going to go into one of these 4 slots. I don't know which, but 2 of these outputs are also going into these 4 slots. Alright, so let's see if we can figure out which outputs are which. I guess we could just turn the machines on, and that would give us a good idea. So get that. Bring that out to like there. And there's the power line for that. Which apparently I missed one. Alright, then we go in here. We find a power pole there. Then we go in here and we find a power pole in there. Now it should be easier to tell what the outputs are because they'll just be sitting there on the belt. And this is just, if I'm interpreting this correctly, this literally just takes the 4 inputs and puts them directly into the machine, so it doesn't actually matter what order they go in, right? Right, okay, cool. That makes that considerably simpler. Alright, so we take that, that goes into there, that goes into there, that goes into there. Then we have to get the modular frames over here as well. So you just come up, sit on top of that splitter, I guess. And then down into there. And that would be everything hooked up if we had enough iron ingots coming into this, which we almost certainly don't. How much of this? Yeah, 48 is nowhere near enough. So we could put down another couple of these onto it. I think more realistically we're going to need to start thinking about fuel. But we can at least hope. We can at least hope that putting down a couple more factory carts will make the difference. Oh, and I need to Enable autopilot for you. Enable autopilot for you. Alright. So that should give us some heavy modular frames, but not that many. So the next thing we're going to need to do is, I guess, build that foundation out. This is going to be safe, right? Just over a road. So let's put a storage container in. That belt. And there you go. Alright, so now, theoretically, this should be receiving everything it needs. And it should start working at some point. But realistically, we are going to need to bring more iron ingots to it. We're going to need to bring a tractor. Also, probably increase the iron ingot production as well. Because I don't actually think we have the iron ingot production to run that at full speed. So where is the iron ingot refinery place? Here it is. And let's check. That's the canisters. Yes, this is like 170, right? 170 per floor. Yeah. At some point, it, like, especially with heavy modular frames, it's just so horrifically inefficient if you don't, that you kind of have to. Alright, these are backing up because they're full, but they won't be full for long. But yeah, so total capacity from one floor of this is 170. We need a lot more than that. So let's expand that. Yeah. Alright, so let's get... Ah, I see. That's interesting. We're going to have to put walls in here so that everything isn't floating. Or at least not visibly so. The smokestacks stick out the top, which causes some problems. Oh, it doesn't even line up evenly either. That's horrible. Alright, well, we're just gonna... Actually, they're 1 meter walls, right? I guess I can use these to make this line up properly, so we don't have all this clipping. Yeah, I should definitely fix these blueprints so that they work properly. I'm just gonna get this one working the way it currently does, and then fix the blueprint for the future. Alright, so now we have that. We need to do the annoying vertical splitter without vertical splitters thing again. So these go up something like that. that. Of course, they actually have to be at the correct height, which is basically impossible to tell from down here. Alright, so if I stand up here, I can get a better angle on it. Let's see how high it needs to go. Something like that. And in. And then we make this one do the same thing. Approximately the same height. And in. And then we just have to get these outputs correct. So let's get mergers on them. I just put a merger somewhere random. Thank you, very cool. Alright, I need to get that merger off the floor. I break things. Bring these belts up. Alright, those are just very closely aligned to each other. Alright, something like that. And I don't actually know which is which is the problem. So I need to get up there and power it up. Ah, yes, there's no floor. Okay. What a fantastic time. Oh, this is the blueprint where I messed up too. Yeah, I need to fix this blueprint in like 3 different ways. So first of all, these buildings aren't powered. So we need to power the buildings. And bring that up there. And power that. Then I need to set this to unpackaged water. And target production of 40 a minute. Yeah, there are so many things wrong with this blueprint that is kind of ridiculous. Alright, but we have it all powered on. Which means we'll be able to see which output goes to which. So I think this one is the canisters. And the canisters are this one. So that, I guess. And now we have 340 iron ingots a minute, which is a lot more, but still not enough. Alright, so that is that. Now we need to go and fix that blueprint so it doesn't continue to cause problems. Yeah, I guess that's why. But it would be cool for the tins to look correct. let's find the pure ingots blueprint. So first change that needs to be made is we need to power everything on. And we have to bring that power line up, which I guess we can do a floor hole since I bought those. Where did that go? Is it like directly underneath a belt or something? I can't find it. Alright. Let's bring it up to a conventional power line. And then we go up here. We put the walls in. Put another layer of walls in. And then we put the roof in. And then we have to fix the fact that the recipe is wrong. I also need to get out. Place that wall. And fly up here. And make this unpackaged water. Target production rate 40 a minute. Alright. I believe I have fixed every significant problem with this blueprint. Now we save that. And clear it. And I think we need... We need more for... We need more ingots for the... What's it called? Heavy modular frame factory. Which means I need more inventory space. Grab all of that. So let's go and put another blueprint on top. And we're going to have to figure out how to stack it a third way up as well, which could be a bit rough. So first I need to get in here to recharge the fuel. Then I need to get up here. Now I can stand here. And pure ingots. Yep, of course, this will be the last time it doesn't work. I wonder if it'll be easier if I have the inputs and outputs facing a different way, so that'll give me more horizontal space to mess around. Obviously we have this again. So let's put the walls in. Yeah, I agree. I think it can look pretty neat. Alright, so let's put those walls in. And those walls in. And then realize that I've trapped myself on the inside again. Let's get a platform to stand on outside. Put that wall back. Alright, so we have our 2 inputs and 2 outputs. So we need splitters on these. And they're going to need to gain a lot of height. Not sure exactly how much, but ooh, I hit some random button instead of the WASD keys and almost went flying when I opened a menu I wasn't expecting. Alright, and then these get mergers, which I guess fit in there. And then they go up a bit as well. And now we need some standing room here. And we need to power these buildings on, which can go down there. How's power going? It's starting to get dicey. We're gonna have to stop doing this and make a power plant pretty soon, I think. Alright, so then these belts need to come up. Need more platforms just to stand on so I can see what I'm doing. That comes up there. That comes up there. This is too steep to be on this, which is fine. And I think I'm just going to delete this platform when I'm done to have nice floating belts, which is probably going to be more appealing than this. Okay, so then that comes around like that, and in there, I think. I hope I'm not getting my belts mixed up. This needs even more space this way to get up. I should just bring them around and then have the, what's it called? I'm blanking on the word. Conveyor elevators. Conveyor lifts. Bring them to the right elevation. This probably doesn't look nearly as good. Yeah, let's take this apart. I don't think it looks good. Like, it's one thing to not look perfect. I think this is just going to be an eyesore. Alright, so what I think we do is we have all of these bringing them up to different elevations. Like, this one can go all the way up to there. This one can be below it, and basically we're creating a stackable elevator pole. So we have like that. And take that power pole down. Replace it with a wall pole, which still just hooks up there. And now I delete this and stand on this convenient floating platform, which I will remove when I'm done. That goes in. That gets a little mini lift. And down. This gets a slightly longer mini lift. This gets an even slightly longer mini lift. And then that comes around like that. That comes around like that. And I think that looks much better. Now, have I got this right? That goes into there, which... Alright, I'm pretty sure I even got them all hooked up to the right things. Alright, so now we can hop off of that, remove that, and hopefully this will look better. As being just a little bit more organized. Alright. And we get rid of that foundation as well, and it looks pretty good. Cool. Now, how many heavy modular frames do I have? Literally 0. Okay, something is probably going wrong over here. Is it an order thing that, like, stuff is just manifolding? Probably. So we're probably going to need, like, encased industrial beams and steel pipes to backlog, I guess, before the modular frames really get like enough priority. Weird, because I would have thought it would be the other way around, but I guess not. How is the iron input going? 139 a minute? It's not terrible. Literally like a quarter of what we need, but not terrible. So the next thing we need is a power plant. So currently our power setup is really dicey. Like, max consumption is way up there, and we're never gonna get up there, but it's still a little bit unnerving, you know? So theoretically, I would like to have enough modular frames to get a Mark II blueprint designer first, but that requires like 100 and some. Currently we are getting a solid, respectable 0. So we need 100 heavy modular frames and 100 computers. Honestly, I might just manual craft. Like, I have 40 computers and 27 heavy modular frames. How bad would that manual crafting be? It would be, like, pretty bad, I think. So we can manual craft 19... No, only 2 heavy modular frames because it requires screws. Alright, probably not doing that. Probably going to manual craft the computers, though. I guess we can see how much the fuel setup is going to need. So, a fuel power generator burning fuel is 20 a minute. Which means we need to be able to make 20 fuel a minute. So that would be refinery. Diluted packaged fuel is 60 a minute. And I think the way I'm going to be doing this is basically making like individual towers where like I put down like 3 blueprints and that makes one fuel generator go, and then I can just place down a bunch of those. So we're gonna have to figure out. Done with that for now. Fuel towers. So we need 20 fuel per generator. And just to confirm that we're definitely not fitting 2 generators in, right? Yeah. So this is the thing. If we had the Mark II blueprint designer, I think we could just barely fit 2 generators in. But as it is, it's only 1. So that's kind of why I wanted a second. But so it's 20 fuel per generator. So if we set this to make 20 packaged fuel and a packager to unpackage fuel. So a single packager can do that easily, a single refinery can do that easily. Heavy oil residue, we need 10 per minute. So that is 10 heavy oil residue and 20 packaged water. So, heavy oil residue alternate can very easily make 10. So that would be 7.5 crude oil and plus 5 polymer resin. Alright, so and then we also need water packagers, which should be fine, right? We literally only need 20. And yeah, so we'll need 7.5 crude oil, 20 water, and those are our 2 inputs. And then 5 polymer resin will be the output, which will probably just sink. So let's make a shell and see how much of this we can fit in one blueprint. And we pretty much only need 1 building of each. So let's get in. The refinery. So this makes heavy oil residue. Then we loop that into a refinery heading the other way, which makes diluted packaged fuel. And then we just need a packager, which will package. Alright, so we take in crude. So this one will take in crude oil and packaged water and make packaged fuel, I think is the sensible way of doing that. Just have this be 1 blueprint. So we need conveyor wall X2. We need a packager to get the so we do need a packager to get the crude oil unpackaged, because we're still going to be doing things that way where fluids only exist inside the setup. So this unpackages the oil. There's actually this is going to be a whole separate thing from the city. So I think actually there's just not going to be a need to do that. Like this is going to be a whole separate thing. We don't need to obey the same rules there. So we just have one input, a conveyor wall, which brings in packaged water, and it brings it around this way, and into there. Then we just have a pipe going from there to there. That makes 20 a minute. This makes like 10 a minute. And what else do we need? We need the crude oil for this, which I would love to fit into a wall hole, but it will not let me do that. Although I could do the janky, horrible thing where I have the wall in, I nudge it in there, and then I put the wall hole in this way. So this works out, I guess. It's not exactly beautiful, but it kind of does what I want it to do. So we have the crude oil going in there. Heavy oil residue goes in there, make packaged fuel. Then we need the sink is apparently just way too tall. So then we're going to have two outputs, one of which will just be immediately sunk, and the other one is what we actually want. And I was going to do this as towers, right? Where, like, each one feeds into the next level above it. I might make the outputs into no, I think having it external like this makes it easier. I was thinking about like having the outputs on the floors above, but I think that would just be not quite good. So that is purely just to avoid clipping. That's backwards. Reverse build mode. That goes there. So that is 20 packaged fuel out there. And then we take this polymer resin and we bring it around and in there. Alright. So this takes crude oil and packaged water, which did I bring that in? Yes. Takes crude oil and packaged water. And turns it into packaged fuel. Alright, so now I just have to find the exit, which I may have deleted. So let's have that in there. And save this as packaged fuel for generator. Takes 7.5 crude oil and 20 packaged water to 20 packaged fuel and 5 polymer resin. Save that and clear it. Then the next thing we need is water packagers. So let's load up another box. So we have the packaged fuel. So I think what we do here is we have the inputs be packaged fuel and I don't know. My line of thought has stalled out completely there. So what do we need for this blueprint to work? We need 20 packaged water, and we need to unpackage 20 fuel. The fuel unpackaging can probably happen right before the generator. So what we need is more water. We need more fluid inputs, I think. So we nudge that this way. We put a packager in. We give it a wall hole. And so this packages water, given empty containers, at 20 a minute. Is there anything else I can use this space for? What else do we need? We need to, at some point, unpackage fuel and send it up to the generators. Ah, that's a good idea. So this can be the entire packaging loop internally. So we have empty canisters there, and then we can also have a packager which unpackages fuel and provides empty canisters. So instead of this being an external input to that, we bring in packaged fuel. We bring out the canisters and immediately package the water again. And so then this fuel can come out probably this same thing here. So let's put a wall hole in there. Alright, so this takes in packaged fuel, converts it to fuel and empty canisters. The fuel gets sent back out there. The empty canisters get used to package water, which needs to be output as well. So let's get that in. And we need to fix that. Yeah, okay. So then that has to line up perfectly, and then go out. So the inputs of this, just a recap for writing it down in the blueprint. We take in 20 water as a fluid and 20, gotta set this to the right speed, 20 packaged fuel as a fluid, and we output 20 fuel as a fluid and 20 packaged water as a solid. Fuel water packaging. So we take in 20 packaged fuel, 20 water, to 20 fuel, 20 packaged water. Alright. So we have that. So we get the 20 packaged water from this. This produces the 20 packaged fuel for this. So I think we just stack these two on top, feed them water, and feed them crude oil, and then just get a generator in, and then we're good to go. Let's test that. Just theoretically, obviously it's not gonna function properly, but this is directly underneath everything. Let's head out to a space which isn't underneath anything, and confirm that works. So let's drag out some space to put down a blueprint. And let's put one down. See if we have any spare stuff in the blueprint storage. We probably do. Yep, take that. And I can't remember which one I just placed. Alright, so this is the packager switcher. Which is fine, but so then we put this up there. So crude oil goes in there as an input. Water goes in there as an input. Then this outputs fuel for the generator. this outputs packaged water as an input. Alright, let's see this. No, so this produces packaged fuel, which comes down here to this. This produces water, which goes up there to that. This is a bit confusing, isn't it? Is there no space to do this all in one blueprint? I would really love if I could get this all in a single blueprint. Is there space up here? Maybe? If I had the heavy modular frames for a Mark II blueprint, I could definitely do this all in one blueprint. Which makes me, like, really not want to do all of this in 2 blueprints. Let's clear some junk out of my inventory. What else do I not need? I don't need iron ore, which is there for some reason. I don't need rods. Don't need rubber. Let's hover up and grab this dismantle crate. Alright, so we need all the heavy modular frames we can get, and computers also, which we can just manually craft, so that we can unlock the next tier blueprint designer and do all of this in one go. We might be able to squeeze it all in one go with a Mark I blueprint. Let's load this one up and see if there's any way we can squeeze in 2 packagers. Maybe. So, we could put a packager here and a packager in the same spot on the floor above. That would probably work. So this is outputting packaged fuel. This is outputting polymer resin. So if we take these belts out for space, we put a packager in like there. And we take this packaged fuel and we send it into this to unpackage it to make fuel. Alright, then we need to get the packaged water from somewhere. So this can have a second pipe there, which takes in water, which seems to be a bit finicky. Alright, so then the water has to go in another packager, which can be up on the second floor. So let's put that up there. Alright, so this makes fuel and empty canisters. The fuel needs to go up to the next floor, as do the empty canisters. Empty canisters need to be used in water packaging. So that sends fuel and empty canisters up there. That sends water up there. Then we head up. And we have water there. Liquid fuel there. Empty canisters there. So let's get this packager in. And this packager makes packaged water. So it takes these packages, then it takes the water, which we need to be in this blueprint, in this hotkey mode for. And water comes along through this narrow gap, out to here apparently, and then back in. Not sure why it has to do that, but it seems like it does. And then this outputs packaged water, which has to go back down. Back down to the first floor with a packaged water. That's that one there. And this one needs the packaged water, so let's bring this along the ceiling, I guess. And then down. And then in here. Alright, so that needs to be down a little bit steeper. And in there for the packaged water. Alright, then that produces... That does all that. And then the packaged fuel has to go up to effectively a third floor where the generator is. So let's get another floor hole up here in the ceiling. And I guess we'll have it more central? Apparently not. Apparently it does not want to be more central. So then that goes up there. And then when we place the generator, we can just access it from that. Oh, there's one more thing we need to do, which is we need to actually prime this with the canisters. Otherwise it won't work. So that... Where are the empty canisters? They're on this side. So yeah, we need a way of priming this with canisters. Preferably... I guess the way we could do that would be just by like having a storage container in here with a bunch of canisters that just merges up to this. So if we have a storage container there, and we put a conveyor merger in there, you take that pipeline support out, Let me do that. Empty. Am I crazy? I know I have these. Alright. I need to get some empty canisters in my inventory so I can put them in that container. And I believe filling that container would be part of constructing the blueprint, which means it should work. And we'll just need like a couple stacks in there. Probably, I don't know. Probably just a couple stacks. I'll go 4, maybe. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I don't know. I don't know how many stacks it needs. So we're gonna need to think how many stacks it needs. And it's probably not going to be 7. Might be able to get away with just 2. Right, so these stick through the roof as well. Which means that this gets to be a logistics floor, which is actually... Hang on. I just realized a problem with that. So this... Alright, no, floor holes can go up at the very top. That's convenient. So now I just need to get this centralized then. So I can use this space to move the fuel pipe into a space that's convenient. Like, let's put it just like on one side in the center. And that goes up there. And let's put a wall in here. And a pump. And probably gonna need another pump or 2 in here. And kind of mark 2 so that we can definitely have enough for everything and still have room for outputs. Alright, how far does a Mark 1 pump go? 20 meters. How tall is the blueprint designer? 32 by 32 by 32. So we are going to need some pumps in here. And preferably this would have enough room for a pump, which I think we can make just by making it straight. So if I just have that go directly up, then we can fit a pump in. And hook that up to the power. So that should be plenty for the water. Then the fuel should have enough from the default to get up to the second floor. We'll put a pump there. Is this... It's so hard to tell with pumps without water in them. So let's put that pump in. and hook it up to a power pole somewhere. I guess there aren't any on this floor. Alright, so that should be more than enough pumps. Now we need to figure out how many empty canisters we really need. So we need enough to fill this. So we need enough to fill in a couple buildings worth. Well, we'll start with 2 stacks. And if that doesn't work, we can update it to 3 or 4. 1, 2. So 2 stacks would mean I would be able to place it entirely from a single dimensional storage, which would be convenient. So let's save this as fuel. And it's 7.5 crude oil and 20 water to 20 fuel. So we can save that. And I guess clear the designer. And I guess we don't need all of this stuff. We can just delete that. I do want my canisters, though. I don't need random food in my inventory. Alright, so let's find a source of crude oil and see if this works. Doesn't need to be much, just purely for experimentation. It's 4:54. That's enough time. We can at least place it down and see if it works or not. So let's do some experimentation to see if this works. So first we head over to an unused crude oil deposit. And there is water nearby. So that is good. I think we had actually scouted that when we set up this whole thing. So the water is over this way some, I think. And this is our current fuel generator setup. Woefully inefficient because it is using default recipes for pretty much everything. Alright, let's see. Can we get a water extractor in here? We can. Alright, that's a good start. So now we pipeline the water and the other crude oil deposits should be right around here as well. I can't quite see them at the moment. Yeah, so they are down over this way. Let's bring the water down. So that will, I guess, technically help a little with head lift, but won't actually matter. so we have our water down here. We need to bring power as well. So you get powered up. And the power pole comes along. And now we just have to hook the power pole up to anything. Any spare power pole we can find. Hopefully there should be a lot. Alright, spare power poles, where are you? There's one. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Alright, water extractor is powered. Where was that other crude oil source? Right there. Alright, so we plop down an oil extractor on this. And we need to power it on as well. Pretty easy to do. How much crude oil is this? Plenty. Alright, so now we take this crude oil down to where the water is. And now down here we set up a foundation. Bit off the ground. Should have just placed a 4-meter foundation for that, but whatever. We have the concrete to spare. Alright, so that is wide enough. Now we place down this blueprint. Just put it like that, I guess. It's a miracle that guy wasn't in the way. So, this one on the right, so the one on the left is crude oil, the one on the right is water. So this is the water. It comes along and there. This is the crude oil. It's going to need to come up a bit to get over that. And then down in there. And then we take a power line and attach it. And let's see if this is working properly. It is, but it's not attached to the power. So let's fix that real quick. Alright, now everything should be hooked up to power. Including this. And yet it is not. Alright, now it's all hooked up to power. And water seems to be being packaged. Alright, water is being packaged. Crude oil is not showing up, though. Is it just because there's a lot of pipe to fill? Yeah, it's just because there's a lot of pipe to fill. Okay. Just about there. So once the crude oil shows up, That'll do that. Oh, hang on. The other thing I forgot to fix is the polymer resin output. So we need to get that out pretty much by any means necessary. And into an awesome sink. Let's get the awesome sink there. And power the awesome sink up. Alright, so we need to fix that. We need to get the awesome sink set up. And the awesome sink can honestly just also be on the next floor, like the floor with the fuel on it. Alright, so I come up here. I put a fuel power generator in. That fits cleanly within the blueprint range. That pipeline goes up there. And in theory, that should work. Although, we're not supposed to feed from below. So, how do I fix that easily? Okay, I guess what I do is I have the generator just like straight up facing a different direction. And then I have this pipeline gain some height, go across there. And then that feeds it from above. And that should probably work. So we're going to set up a blueprint that looks something like that. Also going to bring the polymer resin up. Alright, it is outputting polymer resin now. And packaged fuel. And the empty canisters are stacking up. Why? So we're going to need to investigate that. Alright. I think it could be that that's too much. No, it's actually just going to be... So that steady supply of new canisters is going to run out now, which means we'll be reliant entirely on recycling canisters. Which should be fine. The only question is if there's enough for all the buffers to work, and I think there should be. So the previous time I did this, I had like giant manifolds where like the entire, like I wasn't working in blueprints then, the entire thing was all in giant manifolds, and so you needed hundreds upon hundreds of canisters to fill those manifolds so it would work properly. This time though, I don't have any manifolds. Everything is working. I mean, you could call this load balanced, because that is the effective result of it. Like, there should be no need for buffers anywhere. And everything should work at 100%. Alright, but 200... So it looks like 200 canisters is enough. So that buffer is entirely full. The packaged water supply is apparently sufficient for this. This is working at 98%, but that's just going to take a while to tick up to 100. Alright. I believe we have a functional power tower. Let's just get up to the top and make sure that the fuel is getting up to the top. Up we go. It is not. No, it is. It's just filling these pipes still, it looks like. So it looks like maybe these pipes are just going to need to be completely filled. Or maybe not. Maybe this isn't working. Alright. No, it does appear to mostly be working now. It's filling up with fuel. And it should be filling up at 20 per minute. So this should be fully stable. Alright, it looks good to me. Alright, so there are some fixes we need to do. We need to actually make this top floor into a blueprint with the awesome sink and everything. And then we need to fix, there's some problems with some things on the second floor not being connected to power properly. So let's make notes of that. Fuel tower bugs. Need blueprint for top floor with generator and awesome sink. Middle floor power not fully hooked up. Bottom floor polymer resin output not attached properly. And so then the first thing we do next time is we'll go back to the blueprints, back to the blueprint designer, make a proper blueprint for this. It should be easy, although it seems like it might not be working. We'll make a blueprint for this. Assuming this actually works, it should be relatively straightforward. And then we make those fixes, and everything should be good to go. Now, why is that not working at 100%? Is this not working at 100%? It isn't, because there are too many empty canisters. So there's 100 empty canisters in there. There's six empty canisters in there. Oh, is this belt not properly attached? Alright, I guess canister lift not attached to splitter, or to merger rather. Alright, that's another fix. And now everything should start functioning again. doing this. Yep. Cool. And that should bring the generator back up to a point where it works. Let's just get up there and check. It sounded like it's running. Sure enough, it is. Alright. So, yeah, we ran a little bit over. It is 5:12. I think we're going to call it there. Made good progress. We have a heavy modular frame factory, technically. It's not running anywhere near capacity, and we're going to have to fix that next time. And also, next time we're going to be expanding this out, so instead of just this single prototype setup, we're going to have a whole bunch of these, making a proper power plant. And then probably also going to make computers at some point, at least start working towards those tomorrow. There's going to be a lot to do to get that done. But yeah, I think we're going to be good and call it there. See you on Wednesday.